When I was at the buffet out there, I couldn't even find a cup of coffee. God knows I could use one.
AJ, I can get you one.
Sit down. You will not move from that couch.
Why are you on her case? Why is everybody acting so weird? Hello? Hello, anybody? Somebody mind telling me what's going on? What the hell is going on here? Lois?
Yeah? Okay, just a second. What? What time is it?
Too early for both of us.
Oh, I'm afraid to ask.
How would you feel about taking on a roommate? Arthur.
You okay?
Do I look okay?
No, you look like you haven't slept all night.
I haven't. And I'm miserable. But there's something good about hitting rock bottom, and that is that, you land with both feet firmly on the ground.
I don't have a clue what you mean by that.
No. No, I'm the one who doesn't have a clue. I feel like I've been living in a dream world. Pretending to be married to a man who doesn't even exist.
Honey, I'm trying to follow you here.
You will join the club. I just hope that I could figure it out better here than I can at the gatehouse. I gotta warn you, though, it might take me a couple of years.
Okay. Let's figure this one out. So, you and Ned got in a fight this morning?
Last night. I've been driving around ever since.
Must have been a big one.
It was a doozy.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
It was about living a lie. Which is, completely acceptable to Ned if it benefits him and his family.
Hey, he's a Quartermain. Lying's kind of an inherited trait.
Not in my book. You know, maybe I'm weird or something, but I was always taught to believe that you tell the truth no matter what, even when it's easier not to. And the truth is that the man that I love is not the man that I slammed the door on last night.
Hey, the truth is you love him no matter who he is.
Yeah, that's my question, though, you know? Who is he? Is he the perfect husband of my dreams? Or is he the ruthless liar that he has always been?
He's somewhere in the middle. What'd he do?
Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda. I know you're my best friend in the whole entire world, but... You know, some things just have to remain secret. I'm really sorry.
Listen. You cannot do this to me. Okay? He lied to you?
Obvious.
Okay, so... How big of a lie? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh. It was a 20. That's about as big as when he was married to me and Catherine at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I don't believe that could be true.
Why not, huh? Lying is a part of his life. He's going to choose it every single time, you know? You know what? No, I don't choose to live with that. No, I'd much rather be on my own.
Don't say that.
Well, I just said it.
Listen. You can't be head over heels in love with somebody one day and not in love with them the next. Believe me, things don't change that fast.
Ned's the one who doesn't change. Because he can't. It's taken me this long to realize that. And I feel so incredibly stupid living with my head up in the clouds all this time. And you know what? I promised myself I would never, ever let myself do that.
Hey, look, you're really starting to scare me here. Can't you just tell me what this is all about?
You know what happened? I got drunk. I got dirty, stinking, passed out drunk.
Emily, why don't you go to your room? There's no reason for you to be subjected to this.
The child stays here. She's part of this family now. There's no reason to shield her from it.
What else do you want from me? What else? I admitted it. I know I swore that I tried
Is
control.
that what you promised Ned on the night of Jason's accident? Right after he pulled you out from behind the wheel?
I can't believe he told you. I didn't even think it mattered to him.
It wasn't Jason.
Who was it then? It wasn't Ned. No, Ned's got way too much at stake for this.
What difference does it make who told us? What's important is that you were driving and you let Ned take the blame. Whatever happens to your brother is completely your fault.
It was an accident.
You were drunk.
I wanted to tell you the truth. And Ned wouldn't let me.
That's because he, unlike you, cares what happens to this family. You know nothing but how to disgrace us.
I didn't do anything to you.
Whatever you do impacts on every one of us. And that's something that Ned understands, but you've been unable to grasp. You are nothing but a misery.
Just hold it right there, Father. Whatever's happened, you have no right to speak to either of my sons that way.
Oh, which one can't I speak to? The hopeless drunk or the brain-damaged delinquent?
Edward!
You must be very proud of yourself, Monica, because you have done such a fine job of raising your two boys.
You don't need to hear this, Emily.
And I say she stays right here. Maybe this will deter her from an early death.
Grandpa, please listen to me.
Listen to you? After what you've done? Look around you, A.J. Your brother, as we knew him, is a memory. Your grandmother's so upset that I couldn't get her out of our room, and your parents are walking around like a couple of zombies.
Mom, you know I'd give anything, including my life, to undo what happened that night. You know that, don't you?
I'm sure you're suffering, AJ.
hurt Jason. It was an accident.
No more excuses.
I'm not trying to make excuses. You said it was Ned behind that wheel. You were so willing to forgive him. Why can't you do that for me?
Here's the difference. Ned wasn't drunk. You had no right to be driving a car. If Jason had died that night, you'd be guilty of murder.
I made the biggest mistake of my life. And it haunts me every minute of every day. I've been seeing Kevin. I've been working with him. I don't know what else to do. I mean,
That infernal head shrinker knows? Why don't you just take out a billboard and announce it to the entire city?
I told Ned that I'd pay for what I did. I'll turn myself into the police. I'll go to jail this time.
You stop it right now. All we need is another scandal. If you go to jail, we're the ones who'll get penalized. No, the best punishment for you is to stay right here and you witness daily what you did to Jason. I want you to live with the guilt and the shame for the rest of your life. Now, under no circumstances is the truth to go outside this room. There are too many possibilities for a leak as it is.
Did this lie involve Quartermains?
Yes, Brenda. Look, can this please be the last question, okay? You're really making me nervous.
Just one of them, or would all of them have been affected by this lie?
Somebody's life would have been destroyed. That's why I had to put a stop to it.
So you went to them and you told them about this?
I'm not saying it's the smartest thing I ever did, okay? And I'm not saying that I would even do it again if I could consider the consequences. But at the time, I knew that it was the right thing. I just wish that I didn't hurt so many people who didn't deserve it.
Hey. If it makes you feel any better, guess what? All lies come out eventually. This one would have too.
You know what? Not from Ned. He can lie to his family without blinking an eye. He's been doing that with me.
Maybe he was afraid to tell you.
He said it was none of my business. And it was a family matter. And here I was believing that I was part of his family. Stupid me.
Oh, hey, come on now. You are. He loves you. And I bet you if you went over there right now, you two could work this out.
No. I can't.
Why not?
Because I'm not sure that's what I want.
You don't mean that.
Do you remember how you felt when Sonny wouldn't tell you the most private parts of his life?
Yeah, I do. Look, don't use me as a role model, okay? I had no choice, and look where I've ended up. I still love him, and I'm alone in a room above Kelly's.
Well, not for long. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to ask Ruby if she would just send up a roll-away bed for me, if that's okay with you.
Hey, listen, are you kidding me? I love you, and you're welcome here anytime you want. Don't you ever forget that you have a home, and you have a husband that loves you, and you love him too, even if you're too angry to admit it.
I love the parts that were lovable, and I closed my eyes to the parts that weren't. The problem is, I don't even know if I want to go back to him at all. About to work, huh?
Yep.
Justice,
Yeah.
there's something you need to know. I don't mind staying to help with the re-election, but, I really don't know what's going to happen after that.
I'm sorry. I've been real distracted.
You don't have to apologize.
No, I do. Been in a tremendous amount of pain, and the least I can do is pay attention.
I really appreciate that.
Well, we're all we've got at the moment.
I hate to take you away from your work. I just, I didn't know where else to turn.
Well, now you do.
I've been giving it a lot of thought. Philadelphia isn't looking so bad anymore.
Well, I'm going to try real hard not to let my feelings get
I
hurt.
didn't
behind
mean you,
that.
Justice. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you.
I won't be in Philly. Are you sure this isn't about running away?
Well, it could be. But you know, what's wrong with that? If sticking around hurts so much. It kills me every time I see that stranger with Jason's face, this guy who doesn't even like me. Justice, I loved him. I still do. And he felt the same way about me. It's just, it's so hard. And when I get angry and confused or so hurt that all I want to do is cry my eyes out, I miss Grammy so much, I could scream.
Yeah, well, I know what you're talking about. Because I'm going through the same thing. I mean, Simone recognizes me, but we don't know each other anymore. And I miss her. I miss her smile. I miss being in love with each other. And every time I feel that loss, it's a double whammy because the only place I want to be is sitting with Granny Mae in Ward House. So I know what you're talking about. But I have to be very selfish here. Because if you were to leave right now, I just don't think I could handle it. I need you a little bit.
You know what's so crazy? It was just a little while ago, right after Grammy's memorial service, I was arguing with Daddy about why I had to stay in Port Charles.
Yeah, I remember, and you were quite convincing.
I told him this is my home, not Philadelphia. Now look at us. You're telling me this is my home, and I'm saying I want to go back. Justice, it's like the whole world has turned upside down.
Well, it has. And that's the point.
I'll stay at least until we rebuild Ward House.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Justice. AJ, I'm glad you're here. I've got to run off. I didn't want to leave Keisha by herself. I've got to get to a strategy meeting with Laura. All this publicity with Damian Smith and Ward House has given us a lot of problems. I don't even think Catherine's new campaign is going to be able to pull us out from under. But have no fear. We're not giving up the ship. All right. Good for you. I'm going to check on you later.
All right.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye. Are you all right?
You can, Monica. I know it's going to be a tough day, but there's nothing that we can do to make it better.
I just want it to be over. Well, at least I have a meeting with the Wellness Center after lunch. That's something I was looking forward to. What about you?
I've got to make rounds, and I'm going to get through it. Oh, Monica.
I can't lose it. It's too much.
Don't you think that I feel the same way? He's all we have left, and he's slipping away.
This morning, when he asked for my forgiveness, I almost put my arms around him. But I stopped. And I thought, what if it was reversed? what if that was Jason asking for my forgiveness? Would I have turned him down?
Oh, you know the answer to that, Monica. Because Jason would have never needed absolution.
AJ is our son, and he does.
I know he does, Monica. But my God, he's taken away something so precious from us.
Those boys were so close. Now, AJ is just alone. He needs us.
He's an alcoholic. He has to fight this one by himself.
He also needs love. Please, please tell me you love him.
Of course I do. He's my son.
I'm sorry, fellas, but I can't agree with you.
No, Tony, you're not seeing the big picture. That's the point.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We could use a couple more opinions here.
Well, we always have plenty of those.
I was just telling Tony and Tom that we have too many empty beds around here. And unless we rectify that soon, we're going to have a crisis on our hands.
And I was just telling Steve that he's overreacting.
That's not true. The future of this hospital will be jeopardized unless we address our financial situation.
Welcome to the 90s. Maybe the staff at General Hospital would like to drag itself into the decade before it's over. Well, you'll forgive my intrusion into your conversation.
Not at all.
You cannot run a hospital without some degree of cutbacks, and that includes paring down staff. It's standard procedure these days.
Well, if we go that route, you'll be the first to go.
Matter of fact, you can resign right now and get the whole ball rolling.
Wait a minute. What he says has merit. When times get difficult, you do what you have to do to survive.
Okay, then. Okay. Everybody interested in lightening the financial load of this fine institution, line forms right behind Dr. Dorman.
One day you won't be so cavalier. Of course, by then we might not have a hospital, so...
Well, anything's possible. You're here, but we're light years away from losing this hospital. In fact, I don't even think it's a possibility. What do you think, Alan?
I'm inclined to agree, but I think it's a bit premature for this kind of scenario.
Thank you. Excuse me, I gotta go back to OR.
I think I could go that way, too. Dan?
Well, I have a patient to check on. One of our very few.
So, is this a habit of yours?
What?
Defending the underdog? Can't help but wonder what's in it for you.
Well, somebody has to do it.
You're taking a risk in front of your colleagues.
I don't have to agree with them all the time.
Well, I appreciate the support. I'm glad at least one doctor at this hospital understands reason.
Well, that shows you how little he knows. I don't understand anything.
Don't sell yourself short. You're a very strong lady.
I'm trying. But right now, I think I'd like to do what Lila's doing. That's just shut the door on everything.
Okay. Now, we just need to have you and Lois work this out in the same room together.
Who put you in charge?
It's a basic rule of reconciliation. You need two willing parties.
Brenda, this isn't about whose turn it was to pick up the dry cleaning. This is about facing issues that threaten the very foundation of our marriage.
Well, see, I wouldn't know about that because I don't know what happened because she wouldn't tell me.
She didn't tell you?
No. She said that there are certain family secrets that need to stay within the family. See, she is a Quartermain.
That one's up for major debate.
Listen, this is making me a little crazy, so why don't you just tell me what's going on?
All right, I'll tell you this much. Lois knows that the Quartermains protect their own at any cost. That's the one code that we live by. And instead of being sensitive to that, she went completely self-righteous on me and decided unnecessary anguish on all of us, and that wasn't her call to make.
Well, I think she realizes that she may have acted impetuously.
But she's not home, is she? So that tells me she's not willing to admit it.
She wishes the whole thing never happened. I just saw her.
So do I, believe me.
She's really suffering.
Really? Well, then why is it that I'm staring at you and not at Lois?
She was too upset to come over here and talk to you. She's exhausted.
Really? What about me? I stayed up most of the night waiting for her. I woke up on the couch, thinking that she must have slipped upstairs while I was asleep. So I got up, went up there to, sort things out. Of course, she wasn't in her bed. So you tell me, what the hell is she trying to do?
You know, it's silly. She's just trying to prove that she's as angry as you are.
Oh, Well, that'll get us far, won't it?
Listen, she said that you lied to her one time too many.
Maybe I did. But that's taking things out of context.
Do you remember what happened last time you did this?
Mm-hmm. And eventually she understood why I had to do it.
Oh, no. That's not what happened. She came back to you because you swore that you would never do anything like this again.
I had to. And you know, maybe it's time for her to just wake up and stop living in fantasy land. Because no human being is as perfect as she has built Eddie Main up to be. Especially not me, because the other half of Eddie Main is Ned, who makes mistakes, whose intentions aren't always pure.
You know, it's Eddie Main that she fell in love with. Ned Ashton came along later.
Well, I'm not going to make excuses for who I am. I am not going to apologize. I did the right thing, the only thing. If she wants to discuss it with me, she knows where to find me.
Hey, what happened to Tennessee? I thought you would have bought out the souvenir stand by now.
Well, Tony had an emergency at the hospital, so we had to cancel our trip.
Well, why did you just wait till he gets back?
I don't know. I mean, it's so hectic, and, you know, both of our schedules are about to get crazy, and, well, you know how it is. Timing's everything.
Oh, that's too bad. That would have been fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we did both kind of get caught up in the fantasy of the moment, and then I guess we just realized that that's all it was. It was just a fantasy.
Ain't that the truth?
Ooh, meaning?
You know those trips to the roof I've been making with Tom?
Oh, yes. Those ones that you've been so cryptic about?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, okay, so I've been wondering what it was going to take to get it out of you. Tell me, girl.
We've been doing these series of fantasy dates. We've traveled the entire world. You name it, we've been there. The Mediterranean, the Caribbean, the Middle East, Europe. Complete with traditional cuisine and authentic ambiance.
It's very romantic. That's very creative. I didn't even know Tom was like that.
Yes, and he is. And he loves it. And I know we've never really been closer, but I think that could be part of the problem.
Huh? I don't get it.
Well, all of these exotic trips, one right after the other, it's almost too good to be true. I mean, the world pales in comparison.
Well, you know, sometimes it's good to take a little break from reality.
I know, but you can't live a fantasy forever.
It's too bad you and Bobby couldn't get away on that trip.
Yeah, that would have been great, because the grind's getting us down, especially Bobby.
Well, you know, if you can't get away, you could always bring away to you.
You want to explain that?
There's a whole world waiting to be explored in your imagination. Things you wouldn't dare to try in your real life because your defenses would slam on the brakes.
Spoken like a true shrink, Tom.
No, I'm just... Anything is possible in your fantasies.
Yeah. You've obviously given this a lot of thought lately.
I'd be surprised. Excuse me, I gotta go. I got a patient sitting in my office.
What? Either Tom is working on a very interesting case, or he and Felicia are having more fun than the rest of us.
We don't know whether we're ever going to get our Jason back again. He doesn't communicate. Well, he does speak. He alienates everybody. I just wish I could help him.
I think the best thing that you can do right now is try to accept him for the person that he is today.
I'm trying to do that. Right now, I'd settle for any kind of a relationship with him. That would be at least a beginning.
Yeah, just don't make the mistake of being too hopeful, though, because he may not respond the way you would like.
What we tell our patients when we're trying to protect them from disappointment.
And there is a reason that we do that. Because if they don't act the way one would like, it can be devastating.
No. I mean, I'm not expecting that much. I think Alan and I would really just like to have Jason be a little less angry with us. Maybe that's an impossible request, but I just have to hope.
How about trying to find some common ground for the three of you?
4 of us. There's AJ. And this whole thing has driven a big wedge between he and his brother. Oh. We have Emily. And she has no idea what to make of this.
Are you busy?
Not for you. Come on in.
Is Lois here?
No, she's out. Thinking about what she did last night.
Why was it so wrong? I mean, all she did was tell the truth.
Well, in this particular situation, that was wrong.
Well, then why didn't you just tell her to keep it a secret?
Emily, have a seat. If only life were that simple. If only Lois were that simple.
The part I really don't understand is why you lied about AJ in the first place.
What I did, I didn't see it as lying. I saw it as keeping a secret to help Jason. It's very special to me, you know.
To everyone else, too.
That's right. And it could have been avoided if AJ had dealt with his problems before they got out of hand. Do you know what irony is?
Yeah. We learned about it in school when we were studying Shakespeare. It's the difference between what you expect to happen and what actually does happen.
Very good. Well, in this situation, the irony is Jason knew about AJ's problems before the rest of us. In fact, he was so concerned about his brother's condition that he actually joined a group that helps families of alcoholics. He asked me to go to one of the meetings, but I wouldn't.
Why not?
I guess I was just too busy. Anyway, the point is, Jason would have hated seeing his brother go to jail. And I saw a chance to stop it from happening. So I took it.
Yeah, but Jason doesn't even know who AJ is anymore.
It doesn't matter. It was still the right thing to do. And that's not the only reason. You know how fragile Grandmother is.
She seems really strong to me.
Well, yes, she is, but she's also very sensitive. And she loved Jason very much. And I didn't know what would happen to her if she knew that AJ was driving the car. And I don't want to find out.
I understand.
Of course, there's Alan and Monica. Possibility of losing 2 sons at once is more than any parent should have to endure.
Well, if it makes sense to me, then why is Lois so angry?
Well, she sees it as being dishonest. But this is how I chose to handle the situation. And people like you and Lois have to respect it.
I do.
I want you to listen to me. It's very, very important that you don't speak about this outside the family. Not to any of your friends, even if you think you trust them. Okay?
Trust me. Grandfather already made that pretty clear.
Can you do it?
I don't have any choice. I'm a quartermain now.
Keisha, there's something you need to know. It's about Jason.
Is he hurt?
No, it's nothing like
Then
that.
I don't want to hear it. Look, I'm just not ready to hear more bad news about how cruel he is to everyone who loves him, okay? AJ, if I don't learn to let go of him right now, I will not be able to keep living here. I already don't know how I'm going to do it.
So you're still thinking about moving away then?
Justice convinced me not to.
Well, it's all right for Justice.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to change my mind.
I hope you don't. Because all the people who know you, they care about you. Jason would too if things were different.
I loved him. We had incredible plans together. Then he got in the car with Ned, and in 1 minute, our whole future was destroyed. Don't let me go back there. Pain is the only thing I ever get out of it.
You're right. You're right. You don't need to hear what I was going to tell you.
Dr. Quartermain.
Morning, Amy.
Good morning, Alan. A messenger just came with this special package for Monica, and the card said it was from her secret admirer. But of course, we all know who that is, don't we?
Was the card in an envelope? How'd you know who it was from?
Oh, well, when it came, I was putting it in a safe place, and it wasn't attached, and I had to grab it, and the card had fallen out of the envelope, just like that. Pretty amazing, huh?
Actually...
you know, I just think this is the most romantic thing that you're doing. And you know what? I was just about to page Monica and tell her that she had something special here, so why don't I just go and do that?
No, don't bother. I'll deliver it myself.
Sure. Hope you do it over a nice, romantic candlelit dinner. Second floor, Miss Vining.
Oh, you should be used to living out your fantasies by now.
Why?
Because you're a private investigator.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, you have to admit, it is a pretty glamorous occupation.
No, only from the outside. It's really very routine unless you get a thrill out of making phone calls.
I have a feeling you're just downplaying it because you're not allowed to discuss all those juicy cases.
No, it doesn't really work that way at all. That confidentiality is mostly for doctors and lawyers.
Oh. Well, I'm sure that doesn't make your clients very happy.
Well, we try to respect their privacy, but sometimes we can't.
Oh. Well, for instance, suppose somebody like me hired you. Would you have to tell Tony about that?
Not if he didn't want me to. But in some conditions, like, if you broke the law, then we'd have to turn over the information to the cops.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So in other words, your clients are pretty much protected, unless they get, like, arrested or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I have to get back downstairs. Betty wants to leave early. I'll see you later.
Okay. See you later. Hi, yes. Is this Mr. Pizer? Yeah, my name is Bobby Jones, and, I need the services of a private investigator.
He expects me to go back there and beg for his forgiveness? No way.
I didn't say that he said that. I said that he realizes that there are a lot of things you need to discuss. I mean, things beyond this issue. Much bigger issues. Like who he is and who you expect him to be. I mean, listen, if I were you, I'd really go back and address these things with him.
If he's got so much to say to me, why doesn't he come here and say them himself?
He lied to me, remember? I'm the one who deserves the apology.
Or maybe he's just waiting for you to make the first move.
Yeah, well, you know what? He'll be waiting for an awfully long time because I'm not running back to him.
Tonight, how far will Ellen go to make her mom happy? Farther than you think. Find out on Ellen. Then Meredith Baxter stars in the new hit comedy that's earning high grades. Don't miss an all-new The Faculty here on ABC, the comedy.